Okay, this is enemy of my enemy.
Wait, that room wasn't there before, I don't think.
Going into the meditation chamber.
Harding must have put my pack here. Makes sense. Better place to sleep than the infirmary. Guess I can spare a few moments to unpack my things. Varric and his life lessons. I asked him how we were supposed to stop Solus, and he gave me this. Take a long, hard look in it, kid. It'll always show the face of a hero who can get it done.
I look good.
A damn good-looking hero, if I do say so.
Okay, we're gonna place our toy griffin. Now, each person's gonna be slightly different.
Every time I look at this,
so you might not have the same things.
Thanking me for saving her village from Darkspawn. She said that since the Grey Wardens didn't have griffins anymore, I could have hers. If I hadn't been there, I'd never have met Varric. And never had to deal with the first warden complaining I ignored orders.
I suppose it was fair.
But if it was worth rushing in to save that village instead of waiting for reinforcements, it was worth dealing with the consequences too.
Click this on Life in the Lighthouse. It is a miscellaneous codex. There it is. Grab this one here. Combat manual.
A meditation upon the use of blades. Must have read this thing cover to cover a dozen times during weapons training.
Hard but worthwhile.
Oh, the number of times I banged my head against this book trying to make the concepts work. But that training has kept me alive so far.
Dwarven puzzle box.
The peddler gave me this after I saved his caravan from bandits. He told me he always admired dwarven craftsmanship, especially with anything made from stone. Called us an impressive people.
He loved traveling, and so do I.
He had fancy silks from Olay, statuettes from the wilds down south. Oh, I could have listened to stories all night about places he'd been. Now I'm getting to see some of those places myself.
Okay, so there's
Right.
4.
That's better. Now, how do I connect to Solus? Just sleep or... Oh, relaxing. Maybe if I clear my mind...
Okay, I'm gonna meditate.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
Hello, Dreadwolf.
Ah, but perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. You could not possibly be here to take advice from the one you called the Elven God of Lies.
You remembered you dismissed my earlier warnings. Now remember, you might not have chosen the same things, so you might not have this. So we are going to go with... Stop, I need information.
I'm not here to debate whether what you said was accurate.
But to be clear, it was accurate.
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to. If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Algernon and Gillenane.
I punch up, you should know.
I stopped you, didn't I?
You disrupted the ritual.
Yeah, I did. Even though I'm nowhere near as powerful as you.
Your plan is to tell me how powerful you aren't?
Back in the Grey Wardens, I was with a group of recruits outside this village, dealing with a Darkspawn incursion. Our orders were to wait for reinforcements, but we knew that by the time they arrived, everyone in that village would be dead.
So you led your team of recruits in any way, collapsing the tunnel and saving the village.
How do you know that?
You helped Varric pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that powerful opposition doesn't frighten me. I find a way to get the job done, whatever it takes.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanuris. The Elven Gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
Okay. More. It didn't escape.
The Blight didn't escape with the gods?
Algernon and Gillenane escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the Blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at the village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
Then we stopped them.
Then we shut down whatever they need to do to free the Blight.
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My Lyrium dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the Blight is the first? What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
You think they want the elves back? I don't think the elven people will bend a knee to blighted, murderous monsters.
Agreed. Algernon and Gillenane care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power. Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Algernon and Gillenane.
Sounds entertaining.
You want me to pick fights with tyrants and bullies? Sounds fun.
I gave no orders. All I offer are suggestions.
I'm on it. What else?
The Veravas, the lighthouse Soluvian, can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I suppose we will. And when you speak with Varric, please tell him that I regret what happened.
Okay, now we've acquired new appearances for the equipment. Appearances can be modified from the wardrobe. The wardrobe has now been moved from the infirmary to this area right here. So if you want to go into the wardrobe, it's in this area. And if you want to go back into decoration mode, you can. Not sure what determines the display decor. Oh, that's just stuff that you haven't put down. Move it around. Okay. Oh, exit. I guess we could leave it on, but it doesn't matter. Alright, let's go talk to Varric.
So Solus told the truth about the gods.
You heard? It's bad, Varric. If you'd seen Demeter's crossing.
The team needs to act fast. And it can't do that with me leading from a bed. You've got to take point on this.
If that's what you want.
I'll get it done.
I never doubted it.
Never might.
Rook, when I put this team together, what did I look for? A detective to find the Dreadwolf, and a scout to get us the lay of the land. Exactly the people he'd expect me to recruit. Disciplined, predictable. And then there's you. Remember when we first met, kid? I watched you lead a few misfit recruits and push back one of the biggest darkspawn hordes I've ever seen.
Just needed to find the right strategy.
And no other warden found it. You stopped that horde. Had to drop a town hall on it, but you've got a knack, kid.
For what?
Finding a way through the wildest shit I've ever seen. With a plan that no one expects. On the best day of his life, Solus wouldn't see you coming, Rook. And don't worry. I'll still be here to talk if you need me.
Okay, so you can end the conversation now, but I'll do the follow-ups. So about Meadows Crossing, Demetta's Crossing.
There is something. Demeter's Crossing was awful. While we were there, we found one survivor, the mayor.
You left him to fend for himself.
Not everyone was happy about my decision. We're just starting out and I'm already losing their trust.
The key to earning the team's trust isn't to only make decisions everyone agrees with. It's showing the team that they can tell you whatever's on their mind, even if they think you're full of crap. And know you'll listen.
Okay, about Nev being hurt? And obviously, if it was the other way,
When
you'd
I
have
took
parting,
over the
but...
ritual site, I had to make a call on who came with me to knock over that statue. It was the first decision I made leading this team, and Nev got hurt because of it.
You made a decision with the best information you had. Sometimes you do that, and people end up hurt. Or worse.
What would you have done?
What would I have done? Probably gotten myself killed and failed to stop the ritual if you hadn't stepped in. A good leader isn't someone who never makes mistakes. It's someone who admits when they make one. That's how you earn their trust.
Then about Solus and the ritual.
Did Nev tell you about me talking to Solus and the Fade?
I had some good arguments with Chuckles back in the day. I can't imagine being stuck with him in my head. But how are you feeling about it?
We need his help.
It doesn't matter how I feel about it. We can't stop the gods without what he knows.
And there you go. You don't have to love him to deal with him.
He also asked me to tell you that he regrets what happened. Hurting you, I mean.
Chuckles is sentimental. He could burn the world down, and the thing that would make him cry is a single flower with blackened petals.
Okay, talk to you later.
I'll let you get some rest.
You're gonna be fine, Rook. Hey, one last thing before you go. I've been racking my brain thinking of contacts who might help us with these gods.
You got any ideas?
Nothing. But being a leader isn't about having all the answers yourself. It's about knowing who does. Nev has connections to a whole world that Harding and I barely know. Might be worth talking to her.
Will do. Thanks, Varric.
Anytime.
Okay, so now the Caretaker Book Workshop area is now available. And this will allow you to upgrade anything that you have equipped. So if you want to upgrade something specific, make sure it's equipped, and then it'll be available through here. It's R1. Increase the power level. Purchase wallets. Okay. So I'm going to take a minute, and I'm going to upgrade a couple of things before the fight. And remember, it's everything that's equipped, and you can go through and equip your companion's stuff as well. Two-handed and armors and stuff. So I will be right back. Okay. So the other thing that you can do here is you can change the monument from the dog to a deer if you want. Legendary hollow, leaving streaks of gold in its wake. Okay, let's go talk to Neve.
Hey, Nev. Hi, Wisps.
Yeah, they're still here. But you're here for leads. You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look, if we can get anywhere but Arlathan.
Balara's working on it. What have you got?
Let's start with the angles we know. The gods are corrupt magic personified. Who do we hire to fight that? First, the Antivan Crows.
You want to fight gods with assassins?
Not just any assassin. Their most feared mage killer, the Demon of Virantium.
More. Mage killer isn't a problem?
Working with a feared mage killer doesn't bother you?
If he doesn't have a contract out on me, it's not a problem.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Well, I'm sold. Now we charm the crows.
Fingers crossed. The demon got his nickname taking out blood mages and Venatori. From everything I've learned, the reputation was earned. I never uncovered his real name, and there's been fewer stories the last few years. But the crows would know. I can set a meeting with their bosses.
Let's see. Good work, Neve.
This is great. Thanks, Nev.
It's what I'm here for.
Nev.
You said the crows were first. What's next?
A trip home.
Back to Minrathous.
Capital city and heart of Tevinter. An empire of mages that knows a thing or two about corrupt magic.
Tevinter authority.
Won't help and can't be trusted. Which is why we talk to the Shadow Dragons. They're a resistance group that fights slavers, blood magic, and imperial corruption. They've got eyes and ears everywhere, including mine. If the gods enter the Empire, we might get something. Besides, I owe them an update.
More? Are they mages?
Are they all mages?
Tevinter might prize its mages, but the Shadows accept anyone. We've all got a stake in the cause.
Your friends are our friends.
These people sound great. I mean, if they're anything like you.
No one's as good as they seem. But they try.
So, we talk to the crows in Antiva and the shadow dragons in Minrathous.
I wouldn't mind checking in on my neighborhood either. If Balara's ready for us.
Yeah. Should check how things are going.
Okay, so as far as I can tell, I was like the end of Enemy My Enemy, unless, wait, let me go back to map, journal. So these are all the completed ones, but it's no longer on here, so unless it comes up as far as like a second part, I'm going to call this all of Enemy of My Enemy and sign off here. If it turns out there like it's not done and it comes back later, I'll just change this to part 1 in the title. So there you go.